What's up, everybody? It's another episode of A Slice of Love. It's your host, as always, C. Holmes, as we hit on live controversial topics and a little bit of relationships and much more. We're not afraid to hit on it, but I got the one coming from the trenches, dropping bombs. He's ready to do his own thing. He's bobbing his head. He's ready to come in, swinging full swing. I'm talking about the one, the only, Johnson.
That's that.
Fireworks.
That's that making them toes curl type of style of music.
Mm-hmm. And then you probably say, like, what you know about that young grasshopper? Knowing you,
you know it. You know it.
See, he ain't got no damn sense at all. None at all. But we are talking about modern day pay. Now, like, what are you talking about modern day pay? I'm talking about how men and women are getting paid differently, especially, I guess you can say, in my generation and younger. Now, I know in your generation, y'all had traditional, more morals, in my opinion. But I feel like things are changing. And when I bring things up, people be like, no, it's not like that. But when I see things like this, I'm like, I beg to differ. But before I dive into it, like, what is your initial thought on this topic? And we're gonna keep it short, but we're gonna keep it spicy at the same time.
So my thought on this situation in regards to the pay difference, basically, is what you're asking, correct? You want to make sure I respond in the right question in appropriate manner.
Oh, no. And I'm glad you said that because that makes us even better. Of course, we know there is pay difference when it comes to men and women. We all know how that needs to be addressed. I'm talking about how men traditionally work hard for their own earning, but it's promoted okay for women to sell itself explicitly in so many different ways nowadays in different avenues until it's like acceptable now in this society. And it's not just OnlyFans, it's a lot of different other platforms as well. And to the point where it's like a game, like randomly asking people for Cash App. And if you don't do it, you're not considered a man.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna put it this way: females can do whatever they want with their body. In saying that, they also have to be able to accept the accountability and the criticism in the way they go about handling their body, whether if it's appropriate or inappropriate. Okay. So they have to be able to be accountable for the decision. See, the issue here is the fact that females want to do and act a certain way, but then still want to be respected on the same platform. That can and would never work because that is more of a psychological issue that's embedded very deeply. Because now females, and let's look at black females now, feel like they are the man in the relationship. They are the provider. But yet and still you want a man to be there with you and for you, but then you want to take the role as being masculine, in control, while going around here parading what should be only seen in the bedroom with the person that you with.
And pretty much back it up with pride. And I think that's the whole shift was going on. And like I said, they can do whatever they want with their body, but they don't want to accept the accountability that comes with it. And that's my issue with it too. It's like you get mad at this backlash and how everything and everybody else comes at you. But look at what you're asking for. But they promote like the high-end lifestyle. But the first thing I want to do is bring up one video. And I have multiple different videos. We're just gonna roll off one because you know how they quickly say like, you don't know what you're talking about. They don't do that at all. Because they quick to do that.
Well, that's a defense mechanism that most females do because they avoid responsibility, accountability, and they get into their feelings or their emotions. That's more of a psychological thing, but also too, if you want to get deeper, that's also a spiritual thing. They know right from wrong, but they keep choosing to do what's wrong and they try to justify it, and then they get in some type of way when they don't get the result that they think in their dreams are they fantasy that it should be?
Let me go ahead and roll the first clip. Hopefully the Wi-Fi don't act stupid. All right, so let's go and get this first one coming up. Share the screen. Which one do I want to hit on first? You know what? I'll be nice. I'll go a little bit outside my culture because a lot of times they think it's just us.
No,
But
it's not us.
Mhm.
Actually, what you're talking about did not occur in our culture first. It occurred in the vanilla culture. And they always thought and think and still think it's okay
so
until
let me
they catch something that you can't get rid of.
so let me go and roll this clip. We're gonna say I'm gonna show you guys how I got this pay pig term, pay pig. See, sorry, started up pretty much making a joke out of it. To send me $2,300 last night.
$2,300 last night. This was in an hour, by the way. Even when they say they're broke, they're really not. He sent to me on PayPal too. This guy was actually really cool. I was giggling the whole time texting him. First thing he said was, I hate that I found your profile. Please block me. No, send $100. Sent. I could just tell he was already in love, so I knew this was gonna be easy. He told me he made a whole new account just to talk to me, and I said, okay, I deserve $50. Sent. And then we were just vibing. I asked him where he's from, how old he is. Now send my next $50. Sent. And there's some conversation in the middle, making him fall in love even more. He basically tells me he's obsessed with me, so I said, you shouldn't have told me that because now you have to send me another $50. Sent. Then he ended up running out of money on Throne, so he was like, give me your number, I'll send you more money there. So I texted him my money. He sent another 100 on PayPal, and we just vibed. He's actually so funny. I kept telling him that. The strategy is just finding excuses to say, okay, send me $100 because of that. He sent me a selfie, which I think is still AI, but anyways, I said, send me another 100 since you think I'm dumb. He says it's not AI, but he still sent the $100. Another strategy, write this down. I love playing iMessage games with them, and if I win, you have to send me money. If I lose, you have to send me money. But I won, of course, so I said, send me $200. He begged for mercy. He obviously sent it. This is just more of us flirting with each other, making him fall more in love with me. And that's basically my routine. Make them fall in love, take their money until they have no more to say.
Okay,
Coming
first
out
of
the
all,
horse's mouth herself.
first of all, females play a dangerous game when they doing this, and they want to play the victim
And I
because
remember,
you're playing with somebody's mental state, emotional state, and you don't really understand completely what level they're on. You don't even know what buttons that they're being pushed. Now, she also stated that she gets them to fall in love, and then she takes the money, right?
yep, that's the game they
Okay.
was playing.
If you keep doing that, you're gonna always come across somebody that's not going to respond in the way that you want to. And now your life is in danger, but now at the same time, you're playing the victim. And this is what the accountability that a lot of females refuse to acknowledge because of their selfish greediness and thinking it's cute. They think it's funny. They think it's fun. They think that, hey, it's a game. The game of life is real, and you can get yourself killed messing with the wrong person
You're gonna get your ass killed. And now I said it raw like that.
because this is something you don't play with people and their money. That's one thing you never play with.
The money
I know in the black community, you don't play with somebody's family, their food,
or
and
the
their
money.
money.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I never will forget. Like I was talking to this other person, I was like, they told me what I was doing. I was like, "You playing a dangerous game." They're like, "It's not dangerous. It's asking for money." I'm like, "Okay." You think you're just asking for money through text messages? Like, how's this dangerous? Just text messages. I'm like, all right, you're gonna mess around with the wrong person, and they're gonna expect something more. And if you don't give them what they desire, your ass gonna end up dead.
Oh yeah, because there's always a give and take. If somebody gives you something, you expect something in return. And if they don't get what's in return, then there becomes a problem.
Yeah, and then they want to play victim. Like, I didn't know he just abused and insulted me. But they don't want to talk about the part of how they set up the whole situation.
Right.
Accountability. All right, so I have another one. Like I said, I'm gonna roll them out like fire because the thing is, like, let me before I go to this picture, video. When it comes to men, we're known for like putting extra hours of work,
Mm-hmm.
investing into a business, or trying to find something. Even if it's like 2 or 3 jobs, something like that, like a Jamaican, we try to find something to make it happen.
Well,
But
I'm gonna do a little correction. Most men that are good men will do that, not the
okay,
lazy one.
okay. So yeah, slight correction, the good ones. My aggravation is society. I can only reference from American culture. I can't reference tries to deem that as a person, or they use this term simp, or not as a person to be acknowledged, or a person to look up to, because they're not living that high lifestyle that mainstream likes to promote. And
Mm-hmm.
too many times, too many people try to live like the Benjamins, and then when they do that and end up in a situation that's worse, they're like, "Why? What happened to me? I was just trying to live good." When you
Mm-hmm.
weren't being responsible with your finances. But let me go ahead and play this next one. Like I said, I'm gonna roll it because, like, me, and you have podcasts in the past where they denied all this. Now, the first one, the lady broke down the game, and I really remember trying to bring this out, but every time I tried to, I got cut off. So it came from a woman herself. So you can't really go against me on that one. Now, here's
Mm-hmm.
another one. Then I'll get to us in a minute.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, isn't that sweet? I can so say you can sleep. I know what's that means.
I know that was a quick clip,
So
but the main thing I want to focus on is like the actual text in the video. I quit my job to live like this, basically.
See
So
another. See, another thing that females forget is the fact that when you act in a certain manner like this, you are messing with men that may be, and I keep saying it, emotionally not intelligent. You are messing with men that may be desperate, depressed, have issues at home,
right,
and you what end up happening is that females will go ahead and play the victim. But technically, in my eyes, you have no excuse, no reason to be
you asked
able
for it.
to call and play victim when you baited this individual in. You had a sense that something was wrong with this individual. You played this as a game, but you were so greedy in getting that money rather than doing what you can do, like some normal person do. You trying to go around circumventing and doing things the easy way versus the normal way. Even though it might take you long, it might be hard. And then you want to get upset. And then when the individual starts labeling you as a hoe, they start labeling
They get mad. They get
you
evil,
as everything else. Why would you get upset? Because only time you get upset if something is true about what was said.
basically. And this goes back to what you said earlier. It's like you can do whatever you want with your body. Just be able to take accountability for what comes back on behind that.
Mm-hmm.
But when they have to face the mirror of that reality, especially when you have kids, because if
Mm-hmm.
you think it was bad with just if you have kids and doing this, and I know I'm gonna offend some people, oh, it's gonna be way more harder because what if that child starts trying to mimic and do the things you're talking about?
Exactly.
And what if you start getting upset that your daughter or son is doing that? In my opinion, you have no right to get upset. You were pretty much the encourager of it. You influenced it. I feel like parents at times. I respect the parents who actually pretty much put in morals, but I feel like in this generation we have parents that forget that their kids can soak up information so fast
And
nowadays
they
with the internet,
duplicate what they see.
and it happens so fast and at an early age, super
Mm-hmm.
early age. What goes around comes around is all I have to say. Now, I'm gonna show the next one. I know off the back with this person or with the shirt that they're wearing, you're gonna say something smart. I'm not gonna play the video yet. I'm just gonna show the pitch. I'm gonna showcase the video before I play it. And I know you're gonna say something smart already. You be like, see this already. I know she gonna be saying something stupid.
All right, let's roll it.
I know you. Watch, just watch, just watch. What you about to say? Go ahead and say it real quick before I roll the clip.
Now
Or you
go
gonna
ahead,
wait?
roll the clip. Go
You're
on,
gonna
roll the
wait till
clip.
after. Okay, you want it after. All right, let me go ahead and play it.
Mom who sells feet pics online. Hey, mamas. Instagram deleted my page again. And I want to be honest, it hit different this time. All that time I took building, promoting, and showing up on my page to build the followers, even on the hard days, it was all gone. What y'all don't see is how heavy it is to start all over again. And this is not something that's just happening to me for the first time. It's happened multiple times. So that's why I just really felt like I'm so over this, okay? Followers on my social media pages, they make purchases. So when my page gets deleted, the momentum that I get from the request, it literally goes down and my sales decrease. Depressing. This most recent time that they deleted my page, it almost took me out mentally, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. I'm not about to give up. And I came back full swing. I created myself a new page and I've already started gaining my followers back. So I'm going to put the full story on how to build your Instagram page up after you lose your followers, but it's going to be a subscribers only post. And if you want to learn how to make money selling feet content online, make sure you click that link in my bio and purchase my ebook.
Okay, now with that, I can go with that because there are some guys who have fetish with feet. Okay,
Okay.
but when females sell the idea or the fantasy of having being or the individual going to have sex with that individual, you're going down a slippery, dangerous slope.
Okay.
But far as the feet, okay, I can get that. I can get that. But as a person, as a business person, I can see where she keeps screwing up at because you
Word.
can tell she's know how to get out there and grind and do what needs to be done, but at the same time, she's not using any common sense or logic or even another side of a business sense, you know. And I know it's a little off topic because what I see is the fact that why are you so concentrated on being on somebody else's platform? Create your own platform, convert your people over to your own platform where you have all the control. And not only that, the sales that you did get and are getting, you should have either the email address or the phone number to be able to market to them to tell them to come over to a different platform.
Giving out business advice for those who want to pretty much sell that fetish. Trying to help them out.
I mean, the feet is cool, you know. Um, I really can't have too much to say. I mean, because some guys just like they like feet, you know.
Okay.
I when my wife get her toes done, I love it. I like it.
Hey.
You know, it's just a thing.
Okay. So that's why I like try to mix up with the videos, and then with that, for those who do this kind of thing, you got some advice. So look, raw, controversial, making some good out of it too. So I like how it's going. So let's go on to the next one. And let's see. Now this one's kind of similar, but I think this is a different platform. And then we're gonna wrap it up because I know I want to keep this kind of short.
That needs feet pictures. Where do I go?
Photography.com. And how do I know? Because I literally sell my piggy pigs for a living. So my name is Brenda and I sell my piggy pigs for a living on photography.com. And I'm literally a professional in this because I literally tried all the platforms. I tried out X, didn't work out for me. You probably can tell why, but this is why I recommend photography.com. First and foremost, it literally gives you an equal playing field. So nobody really cares what you look like. They're just there for your piggy content. And yeah, so how do you literally get them? Well, you need to optimize your profile. So that means you literally have a profile picture on there, a bio, and pro tip, include you are open to custom requests, because that's how they're going to know if you are able to do the things that you said. So you want to know if peanut butter on them, blah, blah, blah. That is literally how you're going to know what they want. So at the end of the day, you can literally just have fun with what you're doing and let the platform push you out. So yeah, photography.com. And yeah.
Right. It's a little bit of extension on that one.
Okay. Well, some females have nice feet, but an ugly face. Some look like they've been ran over, been beaten by the ugly stick, but the feet look better than the face. I'm just saying.
You got to use what you got.
You know, I use this analogy. Sometimes, you know, some females, be honest, they need a hefty Ziploc bag over their head.
Oh God,
it's all black. You know, or you got to close your eyes. You know, or walk backwards so you never see them in the face or eye to eye.
Everything look good on her but her head. Damn.
Yeah. You know, from the neck on up. Sometimes it's the waist on up.
Well. But overall, though, like, what would you say about this? From, of course, we already know that, hey, some guys have thing for feet. Hey, do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have those that sell explicit photos and get upset because they don't like the backlash. But overall, what would you say about this topic as we close it up?
I think it's a good topic. I think, in my opinion, that the biggest issue in this whole discussion is females selling pictures, or if they're not selling pictures, they're just conversating with people and then asking them for money, which is extremely dangerous because as much technology there is out here now, those females can be tracked. If man makes anything, man can break and find loopholes because man created. Now, when God makes stuff, there's no loophole. Even though man thinks there's loopholes, there isn't any.
Not. So,
in other words, female, accept accountability. If you a hoe, you want to be a hoe, just say I'm a hoe. Don't get offended.
Don't get offended. You know what? I actually have a lot more respect.
And don't get upset. What'd you say?
I have a lot more respect when they be straight up honest about it.
Yeah, and don't get upset if you have kids and the kids at the school are hearing and seeing this, and your child is crying or coming home complaining, upset, or always in the fight because they see the mama is the hoe.
Yep.
Because you represent the child, and just like the child represents you in public. And best believe word will get around.
Quick, this internet.
You may not know who's talking, but the word is getting around to the point where somebody's gonna say something and not gonna care. So when females do that, and in that particular situation, they're also putting their child in danger. But because most females are so naive and they think nothing can happen or nothing will happen, they live in their own head that is nothing but lies, fantasies.
Fantasy. Well, there it is. Well, with that said, and another slice of love, where can they find you at? That's it.
In the Trenches podcast, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and check out, the podcast, the audio version on every and all podcast platform, as well as support on Patreon as well. Of course, we're always going to have Chris on because it's real and raw, unfiltered. But guess what else? We're going to have an upcoming new podcast that's going to be a spinoff, which is going to call Girls Listen. And I'm excited about it because it's nothing but a female. And I have to say, it's the one and only Imani, my daughter, to talk to you all females.
Are they going to be ready? Are they going to be ready for it? I don't know. Let's find out.
She can be raw when she wants to, but she not going to go there. She going to be honest, but she ain't going to bite her tongue.
Yeah, just like you, because you don't bite your tongue either. With that said, it's been another episode of A Slice of Love. You know, hitting on a conversation, try to throw under the carpet because you're afraid of, but we are not. And we'll keep these things going and much more. So make sure you comment, subscribe, and keep things going by sharing to your friends and family, because the more you share and get that word out, the more interesting topics that we bring out that you try to put under the bed. We put them up for God. But until next time, catch you on the next episode of Slice of Love. Peace.